must remember that this area, that is South Asia, is an environmentally degraded area, and climate change actually comes on top of many other very critical issues. I remember 3 months back we were looking at river erosion, which generates the highest number of refugees all over South Asia. And then we looked at the rising sea levels. We looked at environmental degradation and loss of fish, which is a major source of concern for livelihood. We looked at salinity, and which is destroying areas where there is no drinking water and therefore no economic activities possible except one or two, and also the destruction of general area where cultivation is possible. All this together makes this a very vulnerable situation, and climate change comes on top of that. Floods are natural occurrences. So if people could learn to live with floods, it would not be difficult. But essentially it's the socio-economics of flooding that is very difficult. For example, this year the flooding is probably the worst. Maybe people say in living memory, I will say, okay, take 30 years. But the water will recede very slowly because there are so many human interventions, so many dams, barrages, blocks, so that the water goes away so slowly, which means that there will be an extreme high rise in waterborne diseases. Already it is affected everyone. Thousands of people have been affected, maybe millions have been affected. Drinking water is extremely scarce, almost non-available in most parts outside Dhaka and in other parts of India and Nepal. And destruction of livelihood, because the real crisis will come, say, a month later, when the fields will see completely destroyed crops and no employment. So we are not looking at an environmental crisis. We are looking at a socio-economic crisis, which is the main point about climate change. It is not about whether global warming. It is what global warming does to people. Unfortunately, that has got lost, and there is not enough attention to it.